Alright, Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Harakak, Badash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone that rule well and still do, as well as this truth. And then salutations to the Akim on the highways and the hedges and the four corners, preaching his word with truth and sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all you sincere listeners. I was just meditating in the spirit, watched a couple of apostles and elders videos, a couple of diligent Akim's videos. Getting edified. Came across this news article on the feed. Was watching it, reading it, meditated on some precepts. And I was going to get those precepts, and the Lord's willing, this lesson to be edifying to the elect, the hopeful elect. Lord's willing, I'll be part of that number and feed the lambs of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai as well. It's just another, how would you say, testimony to America going down, man. Babylon the Great, that filthy whore. She being put in check, humble. You know, the Lord's doing it. I'm just get straight to it. Response to U.S. global bullying: Iran, India ditched dollar to continue trading oil despite sanctions. In an effort to circumvent U.S. imposed sanctions, India and Iran have reportedly ditched the U.S. dollar and are trading oil in rupees. The reason becomes clear after considering the dynamics at play in the region. Yeah, if you know anything about the dynamics that play in the region, the U.S. dollar is getting weaker and weaker as the days go by. Point blank period. I think for like every dollar is like worth like 23 cents. It might even be less than that as the days go by, to be perfectly honest. And nobody pays attention to it. They don't care about it. Everybody out here just care about smoking weed and fucking dirty whores. Or even in this cesspool of America, they care about fucking themselves. You know, if you homosexuality is rampant. Right now I'm over here by in the area of Essex Street, like South Houston, Soho, NoHo, and it's a cesspool down here. There's all kind of funny style looking people, funny smells, and it's just atrocious. And the Lord needs to hit this place with missiles. In mid-February last year, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani visited India, and the two countries signed 9 agreements signaling a strengthening of ties. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi appeared to celebrate the growing relationship, stating that it was a matter of great pleasure for India that an Iranian president came to India after a gap of 10 years. Yeah, and there you go. That right there is a clear-cut sign that these heathen nations are coming together to strike against Babylon. You know? Matter of fact, let me get a quick precept since I was talking about it. Because regardless of what people want to believe or not, these other nations are sick and tired of America being on top. And the way how America is just a nasty bully, man. You see how they're in the midst of trading still, and America is still throwing sanctions on these people. Like, nobody cares about these sanctions, you know? America is just showing themselves to be a nasty demon, you know, throwing sanctions and taxing these people while they're still using the services. Because regardless of what you want to believe or not, America is a consumer's nation. It's not a producer's nation. It hasn't been a producer's nation for quite some time now. Let me get this real quick. The book of Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, we're going to start at the top. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and deals treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Yeah, and this is the point. You see, to spoil means to rob someone. And if you do the history of America's makeup, they have a long track record of knowing to rob, rape, and pillage all these other nations. Primarily the nation of Israel, which consists of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because the land that Esau is on right now, that he claims he founded, he actually took it from my brother, the Northern Kingdom, which consists of the 10 tribes, because they came here first, and that's written in the book of 2nd Ezra, 13th chapter, So there's a whole bunch of shameful spewing that's being done for these Babylonians, or these Edomites, if you will. Speaking of shameful spewing, I might as well do that. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. Actually, that's right here, chapter 2, verse 5. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that clearly describes the so-called white man today, which is known as Esau in the Bible. If you look in America, America is known as what? The big melting pot, the big cauldron, if you will. And that goes against the scriptures. Why? Because the Lord tells you in the precepts that he gave everyone their own divided land, especially Israel. You see? You go to the book of Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter, and it says that he gave every nation according to their inheritance, and that Jacob is the Lord's portion, which is the best portion to be, to be the portion of the creator of all heavens and earth. I'm gonna skip down in the 2nd chapter and still continue it. Actually, I'll go to 12, yeah. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city by iniquity. And iniquity is added sin upon sin. This is exactly what Esau has done and still continues to do. But as of now, he's actually not doing it like he used to. Why? Because you see these other nations, they've had enough of him. Conduct business amongst themselves and box him out. Fast forward a few months later, then UN Ambassador Nikki Haley was bluntly telling India that they should rethink their relationship with Tehran. Donald Trump's decision to rip up the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, last year, also known as the Iranian Nuclear Accord, was a particularly significant blow to Iran-India relations. Yeah, that's the truth. Because I believe Esau just hopped up and dipped out of the Donald Trump just hopped up and dipped out of the meeting, which caused Iran to want to hop up and dip out of the meeting as well. Because these other nations, they're sick and tired of the so-called white man being able to do whatever the hell he wants to, because they want to do it too. And above all, no real nation wants to listen to another nation, their sovereignty. Especially listen to a nation like Esau's. Allowing faggots, freaks, and lesbians to run your nation, and he allowed that, and then ran the nation right around. At the time the JCPOA was formulated, Indian officials believed the deal to be the best deal available. After the JCPOA's implementation in 2016, exports of Iranian oil to India increased more than 110%. Maybe the issue isn't always that Washington wants to contain its rivals in the Middle East and Asia, but perhaps there is a chance that it also wants to keep a lid on its so-called allies as well. Right now, India is the 3rd largest oil consumer in the world and is expected to become the largest by the year 2040. And they're going off with that because America's not going to be around for 2040. America's going to be destroyed by a thermonuclear missile. That's the Bible. Because this place is unsustainable. Especially if you've been watching the current events now, with Trump doing this government shutdown, there's no way in hell this place is going to stay. Because people are not going to have enough money to even go back and forth to work for this piece of shit plantation called America. As its domestic reserves are not meeting the needs of its rapidly expanding economy, India has been importing 80% of its oil supply from overseas, including and especially. Yeah, so India and Iran are looking like cousins. going to treat Esau like a distant relative, aka America. Prior to Washington's Iran sanctions regime, Iran was India's third largest supplier of crude oil. It's now about sixth place. It's no surprise, therefore, that India's foreign ministry spokesperson responded by saying that Haley had her views and our views on Iran are very clear. He also warned that India would take all necessary steps, including engagement with relevant stakeholders to ensure our energy security. Yeah, so India's not backing down, period, man. India is not backing down, not to mention that Iran clearly has the backing of India. You know, I'm going to get another precept for that. Because Esau really don't understand that he's done. In the book of Obadiah, verse 7, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have there is no understanding in him. Yeah, and this is talking about Esau, man. There's no understanding in him. So how the hell are you going to sit here and throw sanctions on the same allies that you do business with? And I forgot who it was, but they had said a statement that if you got a friend like Trump who needs if you got a friend like America, who the hell needs enemies? And that is the total MO of the so-called white man. Smiling backstabber, and he wants to be your friend, but he also wants to rule over you. And real friends don't want to rule over their friends, you know? They want to rule with their friends, being joint heirs, like pertaining to the Yahweh's side, true judge on earth, you know? Like pertaining to the book of Romans. Esau wants to be like Yahweh's side, but he can never do that. It's too wicked for number one, and for number two, he doesn't fit his genetic DNA is just wicked. He has there's nothing holy about a so-called white man. There's nothing holy about an Edomite. They're just wicked as all high. You know? We skip down some, because it is a lengthy article. You can read the rest of it for yourself. It's on the RT app. I'm gonna get a couple more precepts and then close. I'm gonna read one more piece and then close. You know, skip down and go down to almost the last. There you go. Yeah, I'll just read this part. It is therefore unclear what the U.S. is hoping to achieve through this strategy. Yes, sanctions greatly weaken Iran's economy and threaten the collapse of its currency, but they also push these adversarial states to consider agreements which circumvent the use of the U.S. dollar even with Washington's more traditional allies. Yeah, so basically in a nutshell, Esau sitting here throwing sanctions on Iran is causing these other nations to ditch the dollar and just do business amongst themselves, which is biblical prophecy. You know, just read it in Obadiah and also reiterated it in the book of Isaiah, the 33rd chapter. If enough countries drop the use of the dollar in bilateral trade, the dollar will no longer have the international use it once had. As of right now, Venezuela, Qatar, China, Russia, India, and Iran, just to name a few, are all nations who have considered the use of alternative currencies to counter Washington's sanctions regime. Yeah, and you can also throw Ammon bitch ass up in there too. When I say Ammon, I'm talking about the so-called Japanese. Not to mention that Canada would be one of those as well. You know, so it's not looking good for Esau, especially in his queendom of America. If the ultimate aim of the U.S. is to weaken the dollar status on the global markets, then they can be my guest. Yeah. And that's all it's going to do. Esau's just shooting himself in the foot, like he usually does. You know? The only thing is, he's not going to have the economic stage to bounce back from this. This is really the last legs of Esau's reign. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her recompense. Yeah. And the Lord Yahweh is going to render America its recompense. This is a whole lot of plagues. And after those plagues, the ultimate plague, the thermonuclear missiles to destroy this wicked kingdom. Because truth be told, everything in this kingdom is adversarial to the Heavenly Father. Point blank period. You know, for the simple fact that you get up in the morning and go to the store, and the only type of meat that's really available, depending on the store you go to, pork. It's your bacon, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese. You know, and the Lord views pork as an abomination. Point blank period. So this place has to go. You know. Matter of fact, I want to get this too. I'm gonna get this and just close because this is exactly what Esau's doing. You don't understand. He's digging himself in the grave, just like pertaining to the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus. A man that builds his house with another man's money, builds himself a tomb. You know, roughly paraphrasing. And that's right, because this is what Esau has done. Esau built his empire off of the enslavement and the overtaxation and usury interest of these other heathen nations. And you best believe that there was going to be, that they always thought that they thought that there was going to be one day where the power would shift, because Esau can't stay on top forever, and rightfully so. The power is shifting right now as we speak. This place gotta go though. I hate when I see Jake begging for change. You know? Especially when Edomites is going down right before his eyes. Jake out here gotta get destroyed right along with these no good heathen nations and Esau. Because he has no integrity anymore. He doesn't stand for anything anymore. Just like the nigger woman that raised him. I wanted to get another precept. There's the book of James, chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupt, and your garments are moth-eaten. Yeah, and this is talking about these bankers, man. You see, you got Donald Trump dying, and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shimon Shah, Apostle Dahar says that Donald Trump is the guy that's going to get us up out of here. And I believe so. Because he is the embodiment of an Edomite. He's proud devil, never did anything good, never going to do anything good. But everything that is good, you did it. You know? This is just another prerequisite that they're going to show you, that they're going to implement that mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, you know? And through the spirit, Apostle Tahar deemed this year 2019, the year of Karagma, for that same reason. All of these incidents and events are leading up to the mark of the beast being made mandatory. And when that happens, you know, like it tells you in the book of Luke, 21st chapter. Matter of fact, I'll just get that real quick and go back to James. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 28. And when these things come to pass, then look up and lift up your head, for your redemption draweth nigh. And it's written in a red letter letting you know that Yahweh Shah was speaking. So yeah. You know, when these things come to trouble you, you know, don't even fret. Just know that the Lord is soon to come back just yet. And that's one of the best feelings in the world, knowing that a bigger brother gonna come and try to save you. There's no feeling like it, you know. I'm ecstatic over ecstatic. The Lord's willing I be part of that elect. Getting back to James, verse 3. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you. And shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. This is exactly what Esau has been doing. And not only him, everybody that's in Babylon, 2/3. You ain't preaching and prophesying the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh, coming under the doctrine of great millstones, start with the apostles and elders on down. And you're a demon and you deserve to be destroyed. Point blank period. And this shit is wicked as all high holy hell. You know? But regardless of what is said and done, Esau is going to continue to be Esau. He's going to continue to try to pillage and rape, rob, and murder people and throw Jake under the bus as usual. Wow, but them days is steadily leaving. See? So let me get this one as well. Book of Habakkuk again, the first chapter. I will stand upon my watch and set me up the tower, set me upon the tower, Salakia, and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Yeah, and this is Habakkuk's mentality, and there's also the mentality of the men at Great Millstone, starting with the apostle elders on down. Like the scriptures tell you in the book of Isaiah, the 62nd chapter, you are to not give the Lord no rest until he make your praise in the earth and in all of Jerusalem, point blank period. So basically, we have to spiritually nag the Lord. And how you do that, you got to preach, prophesy, go out to the highways and hedges, fast, do your videos, and glorify the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh the best way you can, as long as you can. Because he's definitely coming back, and there's signs that only the elect can see. And if anybody can't see it, then it's just simple subtraction. You're not part of the elect, and most likely you're fit for a missile. So yeah, Lord's willing, you was edified, like you won't honor praise. Double honors to the apostles, to the elect.